kind of a mark against their name is Zubimendi because he lost the ball for their goal. Otherwise, the performance was faultless.
You cannot say that you went into that game confident because like I say, form does go out the kind of the window when it
Yeah,
comes to
yeah,
derbies. If
yeah.
you're at the top, if you're down the
I thought he was going to score. I didn't think he was going to get free. That just was the cherry on top of the icing on the cake.
You know who he is now, Thomas Frank? Do you know who he is
Yeah.
now? Yeah? Do you know who Eze is now? Yeah? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're watching around the world. This is One Way Football's one-on-one fan talk. And today we are back with the one and only Ashley, the massive die-hard Arsenal fan, one of our own. Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal.
Come on.
I don't know
That's the
about
one we
you, mate.
wanted.
How are you, pal? Are you still buzzing?
Oh, mate, I've been on top of the world all day. My manager at work's a Tottenham fan. I wore my Arsenal shirt. I've been wearing this all day. I've not taken it. I've not taken it off since yesterday. To be fair, I think I slept in it as well. I must have done. But yeah, still buzzing, mate.
I couldn't sleep. Like literally, I was like, yeah, no, you know what? I give it all like I don't know if you've seen all my socials like, and everything. I was plowing them through. I was
Yeah,
plowing them
yeah,
through
yeah.
like I kept them going to about like maybe half 11, 12 o'clock at night. And then I laid in bed and I was just like, did that really just happen? I
I
can't
know,
remember the
mate.
last time. Was it 1993? Maybe might have been the last time we seen a hat trick in a derby.
I think it was longer than that. It's the first one in the Premier League era. I think it's longer than that. They said that I think it was Alan Sunderland scored the last one. Um, but yeah, long old time ago. Eze's written his name into cult hero status. He's gone down in history.
My God! By the way, listen. We're gonna get into like Tottenham and that, and how bad they were. But look, as a manager, right?
Mm.
He's gone out there. I know he's having a joke, right? And he's going, "Who in their right mind wants to start giving criticism and saying and downgrading a player by saying who? Who is he?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
not think that
yeah.
Eze's seen that and gone, you know what? I'm gonna go out there and absolutely give it like 110% now. I'm gonna score a hat trick tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what? Like when he says who is Eze, like he scored the winner in the FA Cup final last year, and that's a more prestigious tournament
I
than
know
than
he
what
was
your club
joking
won.
around because you can see he's like laughing
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you just don't say stuff like that because
Exactly. It just
players
adds
just
fuel to
look
the
at that and go, you
fire.
know what? I'm gonna smash that now. Comment now. Just even if it was a
Exactly.
joke, I'm gonna go out there and just absolutely smash it.
Yeah, because and the thing is as well, sometimes managers will put their foot in their mouth. Everyone does, but to say something that is so widely recorded and monitored, like how could you say something like that? And it was just a full circle moment, one of those things. The Eze transfer saga, that comment, and for him to get a hat trick, it was. I thought he would. I thought he was going to score. I didn't think he was going to get free. That just was the cherry on top of the icing on the cake.
I
Unbelievable.
think a lot of us did say as well that we were like thinking we were gonna go, oh yeah, wouldn't it be great if Eze scored? How many
Mm.
fans probably said that before the game started? You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I was speaking to a colleague of mine in work today, and one of his friends actually captained him, captained Eze for the game.
yeah.
So he's like in his FPL man, he's like literally he's flying right now.
I was going
But
to say, he must have gone to the top. Blimey.
yeah, yeah,
Goodness
yeah.
me. What a
You
shout that
know,
is.
but my God, we needed that because I had a few Spurs like friends and that going, be careful what you wish for and da 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 and and to be fair, we deserved more than that. I would have said we should have run out of there with six.
Mm, yeah.
You know,
It was as good as we were. That's how bad Spurs were as well. Like, in the other side of the spectrum. but it was a
They made it look like we were playing like Blackpool or
mm.
that probably is quite offensive to Blackpool like fans, but you know, that's how it felt. It felt like we were playing a championship side.
We played against Port Vale earlier on this season, and Port Vale were more of a threat to us than
Yeah.
Tottenham were yesterday. Like Tottenham were embarrassing yesterday. If Arsenal had put in that performance in a derby, I would have been fuming. I would have been so
Yeah, no,
annoyed, and I know a
I
lot of
spoke.
Tottenham fans are annoyed. A lot
You
of
know,
them
I
are.
spoke to the Tottenham fan that comes on on this channel, and he said it's fuming. You know, he went just like the C word was used a lot. You know, but look, if you look at the stats, 3 shots to our 17, that is ridiculous. Like
Three
two
shots,
shots
and one
actually
of
on
those was from
target.
basically the halfway line because
Yeah,
he's great goal, by the way.
yeah, you
Unbelievable
can't
goal.
take that away. You
Unbelievable.
can't
Can't
take
take
that
it
away.
away.
And he's learned from his mistakes as well. He knew what situation he was in. He didn't go run
Yeah,
into the corner and start celebrating like a lunatic and like an idiot. He
yeah,
knew you know that you're in a crucial moment. Just get back to the center spot and you know get it going again. But
exactly. Yeah.
you know, but then again, it just didn't give him really any hope. I feel like even after that goal, they didn't even seem to even push into first gear. They
Nah,
completely was flat. There's no oomph.
it's the easiest
I'm not
North London derby
I
I've ever seen.
yeah, I've
Easiest North
actually
London
said
derby I've ever seen.
yeah, I've said now. I said to myself now because I listen to Johnny and what he says, and you know Thomas Frank is a good manager, but he's not what Tottenham needs. He's not a good manager. Was it Ange? Was it Ange which was the problem? Because seems like they've got the same problem on the pitch as they did last
Mm,
season anyway. So
mm.
who's the problem to fault? But look, Arsenal were phenomenal. What just some of the best moments that you watched? Like what pick them out. Like let's talk about Arsenal's. You know, what did
Where
you
do we
like to
start?
see?
Where do we start? Hincapi coming in, first Premier League start, and he looked like he'd been there for years. 23 years old. He obviously we know we got him from Leverkusen, and he was one of their main players, especially in their unbeaten season as well. 23
Mm,
years old, captained this country, comes back, comes into one of the most fiery games of our season. It's the one that we look out for most when the fixtures are released. And he came in and he was unbelievable, aggressive, composed on the ball. He was alert for everything as well. I thought
I
he
knew he
was
kind of would be
absolutely
as well.
yeah, yeah. I That's the thing. When Gabriel got injured, it was more of a. I think the thing that we were most worried about as Arsenal fans wasn't the defensive side of it. It was, oh, we've lost someone who's a real big threat going forward, not just in corners, but also in our transitions as well, and kind of playing down that left channel. Um, but Hincapi's come in and he was incredible. Saliba was brilliant as well. He was so composed. Saliba looked like he took more risks on the ball. He was calmer on the ball. He wasn't offloading it to someone else and letting them do the legwork. He would bring the ball out, try and break lines himself. He was superb as well. I think that's one of his best performances of this season, Saliba. Um, and Jurriën Timber again, he's the best right back in the league for me. He
Yeah,
was unbelievable again. He got the thing is with Timber is he looks like he's about to lose the ball and he doesn't. He's really weird. He's got like this. He'll just stick a leg out and all of a sudden he's controlling the ball from an opposition attacker. Um, and it was the most complete Marino's looked for a while as well. I thought he was superb. Trossard was brilliant. Rice was unbelievable. Eze obviously got a hat trick. Saka was dangerous as well. It, I'd say the only person who has a kind of a mark against their name is Zubimendi because he lost the ball for their goal.
mm,
Otherwise, the performance was faultless. It was amazing.
yeah. I mean, another thing that kind of got on my nerves a little bit because I did the show with I don't know if you watched it with Johnny with the Arsenal Spurs thing, and you know where was Van der Ven? I want to know where he was apart from trying to get sent off the whole game. Was he actually there?
He's
Was
the
he there just to play like you know to try and get that red card handed to him? Because I mean he must have made about four tackles like really bad tackles by the way before he even got booked.
Yeah. honestly, there was a lot of talk before the game about combined 11s, and I think
Not
there
one
were
of them,
some.
not one of them Tottenham players that showed up yesterday would get in our team. I'm
Not one of
sorry
them.
that
Not one of them.
it wouldn't
Not one
happen.
of them.
And I
I
don't
would.
care
I
if
would
they're going to
probably.
say that Lord Van der Ven was, but where was he though?
He wouldn't. He
If he's that
wouldn't. It
such a
was.
good and one of the best centre backs in that league, where was he yesterday? And we didn't
I.
have
I
our
would have.
best centre back in yesterday. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. I would have. I would have put Van der Ven. I'll give Palhinha, who I think's decent as well. He got run ragged yesterday, but he also didn't have any. All the support was behind him. So whenever he looks up to try and play the ball after he's won it, there's no one there. It's literally just a
Yeah,
flood of Arsenal shirts running at him.
yeah, yeah.
But it was the weakest he's looked in a Spurs shirt as well because he had nothing going on around him. Honestly, all those combined 11s where they've said Kudus gets in on the right wing over Saka, Udogi gets in over Calafiori, or Jed Spence gets in over Calafiori. You're all clueless. You're all clueless. Footballing ability wise, Tottenham are levels below Arsenal. Strategy wise, they're
Levels,
levels below Arsenal.
absolute levels.
Tactically, they're levels below Arsenal. Physically, they're levels below Arsenal. I never want to see someone ever again. Maybe if Saliba retires next year, only then will Romero potentially have a better career than him. I don't want to see people put Romero in a combined 11 above Saliba ever again.
Mm,
Ever again.
hmm.
Anyone who is clueless. They've got no
Yeah,
idea. They don't even watch football. Because
this
yesterday
is
they
this is
turned
it.
up and they
This is the thing. They call us deluded. You know, most of the fans in this league call us deluded. Maybe they want to have a look at Tottenham. I'm sorry, but you know,
yeah,
you get a lot of them Tottenham fans out there. That are living in Dulu land because
yeah,
they're fixated and fascinated by the whole Arsenal Tottenham thing. I heard a podcast yesterday, Rory's podcast. You know Rory, the Chelsea fan.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
goes on Talksport and stuff like that. Anyway, but he was telling me that that was not a London derby we seen then. He went Chelsea Arsenal was more of a London derby than it is Tottenham Arsenal right now. He went
Mm,
because all they do is they fixate themselves on Arsenal when it comes to if you have a debate on Tottenham, it kind of leads up to them what they're doing with Arsenal. You know, why have
yeah,
you
yeah,
got to bring like that
yeah.
into it? Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
We're doing our own thing up there. We're up there. We're fixated on doing something. You're fixated on trying to be us or trying to get to us.
mm.
That's the difference, you know.
And I think as well, it's that Europa League that they won last year has given delusions of grandeur. It was the worst European final I've ever watched against a a bang
Give them
average
their
Man
dues
United
though, and you
team.
have to give them their dues. Is a trophy. They hadn't won one in a long time, so you kind of have to go right. Okay, then you've won that trophy, you've done it, but that doesn't hide the shadows of the fact that you're rubbish.
But it's second rate. They beat a Man United team that finished in 15th, the worst Man United team statistically that we have ever seen in anyone's lifetime who can still say that they watch Man United now. There were no teams that dropped for the first time ever, no teams that dropped from the Champions League down into the Europa League to actually make the standard of the competition better.
Mhm.
And then they participated in the worst European final that or worst cup final that anyone has seen for a very long time. They didn't even score their goal. Man United scored their goal. And then they turn around and come into this season and think, oh yeah, we're gonna challenge this year. We're gonna look, focus on what you need to do. Like you're trying to get back into Europe again this year. Like that is your aim. Don't
Yeah,
worry about what we're doing.
you know, here's like state comment from a Spurs supporter. Hate to say it, but Arsenal are potentially champions. This is coming from a Spurs supporter, by the way.
Mm,
It's a team that has been built from piece to piece, every piece joined together. Spurs are an absolute mess. It's going to take time and patience. The team performance is going to be the same if the players are the same. We need to change. Change doesn't mean manager, but sign players, proper players, not bargains.
mm,
This is what we've been trying to tell them for a very long time, right? When we get in debates and that, this is what Arteta like. People always like say about us, right? And say about Arteta is he's been there too long. What's he done? He's had now 6 years, and he's built his own team out of them 6 years. You can't just Liverpool's a fine example. Slot has come in, but all these players, crap. all at
mm,
once. We've
mm,
done it in staggers. If you've watched over the seasons, we've got rid of some players here and there, and we've brought some players in, like bit by bit. That whole team now, apart from probably Saka and some of the academy players that are still there, most of all them players now are what Arteta's picked,
mm,
like throughout
mm.
the years,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's shown that you can go at a long time, but still being up there at levels. We are a different level to the rest of that league at the moment. Even if
Mm,
we are coming second, we're still the second best team in that league. If not now, the best team in that league.
mm, mm. And,
It's just go on.
the level that we've been at over the last few years, obviously we finished second, and we've discussed on here before that I would say 1 year when we were 10, 11 points clear, whatever it was around Christmas time. That's the year that we bottled it for me. That's the year. Otherwise, you had City who were a winning machine for 1 year. Liverpool were unreal last year because they barely did anything with a team that Klopp had assembled, barely touched it at all. Bought in a couple of players here and there. They bought in McAllister, bought in Szoboszlai. Um, they actually put in the players where the players were needed. They didn't do too much changing. And like
Mm,
you say, this year they've taken out Trent. They've completely changed the way that they line up this year in terms of the way that they actually play football, and they're struggling. Whereas
yeah,
Arsenal over the last 3 years, we've probably been the most consistent team that has come out over these last 3 years in the level that we've been at. Last year, obviously, we were disappointing in the league, but we got to the semi final of the Champions League as well, which is something that we hadn't done since, I think it was like 2010 or 2009 or something. We're performing again at a different level this year, and this is going to be a massive week now. We've got one challenge out of the way, and to be fair, it's probably the easiest one that we were going to have out of Spurs at home, Bayern at home, Chelsea away. The other two games are always going to be more difficult, but it's still a big week because it's two
yeah.
London derbies and Bayern sandwiched in between as well. It's a
Mm.
massive week.
Yeah. You know what? A lot of people were saying to me as well, or, Tottenham's going to be a tough game, And in myself, I did actually, you cannot say that you went into that game confident because like I say, form does go out the kind of the window when it
Yeah,
comes to
yeah,
derbies. If
yeah.
you're at the top, if you're down there, um, it's one of them things where, I was nervous. And you know what made me nervous was the fact that Gabriel dropped out, and I was thinking,
Mm,
he is a really key leader, and
mm,
he's such a brick wall at that back for us. Even with the set piece and stuff like that, he's just a crucial player. But now I'm thinking, like looking at it and going, no, Gabriel, no problem. You know,
mm.
we've even
When
think,
I'll ask you a question quickly. When did your nerves change into confidence?
oh well, it's the first goal because it was about 30 minutes in, weren't it? The game was kind of flat, I thought, to start with.
Mm,
We was all right, always on the front foot with them. They kind of sat back, they would have sat back most of the game, um, looking for a counter, but it just weren't going to happen. But I was quite nervous. I was going, oh no, it's going to be a draw. That's the different level as well. That's the different level with us as well. A draw for us in that game would have been a loss.
yeah, yeah,
For
yeah,
them, they were looking to stop us by getting a draw. And that's
mm,
the different levels.
yeah. I To be honest, so I was nervous because, like you say, form goes out the window.
Mm.
Derby games, it doesn't matter what's happened before. Everything is focused on that game. I see the TIFO, which was amazing, by the way, amazing work
Oh,
by
we'll get onto that just in a
Arsenal to put
second.
that
Yeah,
together.
100%.
The TIFO, the fireworks, the lights, the music, the atmosphere. I changed from nervous to excited, and then once I think it was Declan Rice's chance in the second minute or whatever it was, where we got through quite easily. And as soon as that happened, I was like, we're winning this game.
Someone said to me, right, I usually get a lift home from a United fan who's in work. And I said to him, truthfully, because I know you all say it in work at me, and you go, "Oh, second half of the season, you'll bottle it." I went to him in the car, and I went, "Truthfully, do you think that Arsenal are going to win the league?" And he was like, "I do." He went, "I do." He went, "I don't think you'll struggle." He went, "I think you'll piss it." He went,
Mm,
I think this. He went, the stars are all aligned. He said, in yesterday's game, he went, you looked at it, and you could see the stars are aligned. The tifo, the fireworks, the crowd,
mm.
he went, everyone's on board at the moment, and just your bench. You know what? Nkapie went off, didn't he? And he looked a bit like
Yeah, yeah.
he was in a bit of a bad shape. That
Mm,
doesn't worry me. Bring on Mascara. Bring on Ben White. Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
I'm like,
Exactly.
we've got a squad now. I'm not even worried who you bring on now.
Yeah. Martinelli was on the bench yesterday. Madueke come off the bench yesterday.
He was
Odegaard's still
good, by the way,
back.
Madueke,
He
coming straight
was,
back on
yeah,
his first game in a derby like
yeah.
that, and he ran riot. He on
Very
that right
direct.
side. He was,
He was very direct. Yeah,
yeah,
really. That was really promising to see him like that. We still got Gyökeres to come back. Still got Odegaard to come back. Havertz, Gabriel Jesus. We're
they're
in a
players you don't
place.
even think about anymore. Gabriel Jesus, Havertz.
Exactly.
This the I'm not
Exactly.
I'm starting. I don't want to say too much because I'm not that. This season I've said we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it, and I'm going to keep at that level until we get to the maybe the final stages and we can see some light. But teams now should be very very scared of us.
Mm,
Chelsea should have looked at that game and gone, yeah, now we got to be worried now.
yeah.
We've got to start
Mm,
thinking about what our tactics going to be because they're gonna run right over us. And I feel like we will. I feel like we just beat them. We'll go to Stamford Bridge and we've got a good record there. And I think we will beat them.
mm. They've got a tough game coming up in midweek as well. They got Barca to play as well, so
Mm.
it's a big week for them. Also, they've got a massive Champions League game in midweek, and Caicedo was rested at the weekend. Who for me is their key man. He was rested at the weekend, but he's got to come in against Barca, and then he's gonna have to play against us as well. So two two big fixtures beforehand for both teams as well makes it really really interesting.
You think if we can get past, because I'm not really thinking about the Bayern Munich game. I mean, I think we're a good point in the stage of the group anyway that we shouldn't really be too worried about Bayern Munich now. Um, and there again, it doesn't matter who he picks, for that Bayern Munich game because it doesn't really bother me.
Mm,
Put Skelly
mm,
out there, put Ben White out there. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't bother me. I'm not.
mm.
I don't feel like I'm that fan anymore that goes, oh God, we've got Bayern Munich next. We got Bayern Munich next. What are we
Yeah,
going to put out? Because then we got Chelsea after that. I'm not phased. I'm really not
yeah,
phased.
yeah. I it's more the squad depth for me because I still think what going into that Chelsea game we want to go into it with a positive result against Bayern because it's more of a confidence thing. It then just helps us to maintain that momentum as well.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's the squad depth. Where it comes into it is we can look at that Bayern game and say, right, we can start a couple of players who maybe haven't started a lot, or bring in player like Gyökeres is perfect. You turn around to him and be like, all right, you've been out the last couple of weeks, go and get some minutes, go and get 60 minutes, and build yourself back up again for another big game coming up. We maybe then give Marino a rest and say to him, come Sunday, you're back on again. Get Madueke some minutes, get Martinelli some minutes, get Odegaard some minutes. It's the squad's in a really, really good place. And like you say, Arteta has built it piece by piece. He's put
yeah,
everything together. And then Andrea Berta, he's come in the summer and changed my life. Honestly, he's come in and
yeah.
every
What
single
quality?
every single bit of the squad that needed filling. Backup goalkeeper, right? You got it. Saliba backup, right? You got it. Gabriel backup, right? You got it. We need someone to replace Partey. All right, you got it. We need another experienced defensive midfielder. All right, you got it. We need Saka replacement or backup. All right, you got it.
Got
He's
it.
done
Yeah,
so well for us in this summer. He's been so good.
yeah. And do you know what? Going back to that Bayern Munich game though, quickly, we've got a lot of talking to do with Bayern Munich because
Mm.
I've still got flashbacks of was it 2013 or 12 round about that when we got beat
Oh, the 10 10
10-2.
2 on aggregate. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
got some words that need to be said about that. Do you know what I mean? I want us
yeah,
to go out there and demolish them. I really
yeah.
do. I want it to be an absolute massacre and me to walk out of that game and go straight into the Chelsea game and do them as well. I want us to
Mm,
let this week, if we get past this, this whole week, and we're coming out of the other end looking good. I can't see another team, and I've said this before, that will move us until we
mm,
get into January. We've got to
yeah,
play Liverpool on the 3rd of January. which isn't far away, and
mm,
we'll be ready for them because we know that we've got some revenge on them that we've got to sort out.
yeah,
Um, Liverpool, I'm not even worried about them now. They're well out. I can't see
yeah.
them catching up.
They look really, really poor, Liverpool. It's quite surprising actually that they've because obviously if a team loses a game or two, you think, well, fair enough, you ain't going to win every game. But they have really struggled to pick up any sort of consistency. Even when they were winning games as well, they weren't playing well. They like defensively, they're really disjointed, and going forward, they didn't have the fluidity attack that they did have last season, where they were ruthless last season going forward. This year, it's completely different. Like they look very, very disjointed in everything that they do, and I'm seeing a lot of Liverpool fans say slot out, which I think is a bit harsh, probably a little bit of a knee jerk reaction. Give him some time. He's got a lot of things to try and fix, but it just shows what football is. To be honest, it's
Yeah,
the nature of the
100%.
beast.
100%. I also got told as well about let's talk about Man City quickly because they're obviously potential in the title race. They obviously are.
Mm,
Very open still. But I got told, that we should be beating Sunderland if we're going to be out there to. Well, hang on a minute, let's change it around now. You City should be beating Newcastle, and I know
yeah,
it
yeah,
was probably an offside goal that probably they should have. Do you know what I mean? But if that would have
mm,
ended a draw still. You should
yeah,
if you see. Let's talk about City actually because
mm,
I'm tired about it. We're getting stick for drawing against Sunderland. We've had one loss by the way, one loss.
mm, mm,
Okay, City have had what four now?
yeah,
Four losses.
yeah,
Why are we not talking about them? About how what they're doing?
yeah.
It's
But this is the thing though, where Arsenal should be beating Sunderland. Yeah, maybe they should. But again, teams aren't
Sunderland
going to
are a
win
much better
every
team
game.
than Newcastle right now.
At
It
the
just
moment, they
shows
are.
it
They're
in
more
even in
consistent. Yeah, at the
you
moment they
know.
are.
So yeah, and yeah, at the moment they are. So at the moment, we're a better team than the rest of the league. So it doesn't really
Mm,
matter. This is what I'm
yeah,
saying. I know that a lot of people are going to be looking for Arsenal's downfall, but right
mm,
now I'm just enjoying it. And
yeah,
I've learned from past seasons as well that we we've enjoyed it too much sometimes, and we get over the
yeah.
top and we say things that we shouldn't have said. And maybe like now is the time we just keep this game by game and celebrate each win as we go on. You know,
Mm, yeah, yeah.
and
Oh no, but you
that's what we
can't
should
because the
do.
celebration police. We haven't won nothing yet, so we can't celebrate even when we win a game.
No,
When
no,
we
no.
score a goal, we can't celebrate, because we've won nothing yet. Even though, what are you supposed to do when you go and win a game and it takes you 6 points clear at the top of the league and you beat your
They're not
closest
fussed about us
rivals?
anyway, celebrating because we're boring. That's the
Yeah, boring. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We're
By the way,
anti-football. We're
let me just say
boring.
as well. Let me just say four goals yesterday from open play. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
don't tell me about FC and all this, like because we can score them when we want. Do you know what I mean? You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
just because Gabriel's not there doesn't mean we won't. We'll stop scoring goals completely. You know, like,
yeah.
it just oh mate. But I am over the moon. I'm absolutely buzzing still. Um, yeah, it's one of them things. Trossard with the first goal, by the way. He's we need to start giving Trossard a bit more respect on his name.
Yeah, agreed. He's one of the most clutch players I've seen in an Arsenal shirt. Always pops up at the right time, important goal. Whether it's the opening goal or a winning goal or whatever it is, he's always there to deliver a big moment. Probably one of the best 27 million pounds, pound for pound, that we have ever spent. I think he's been an unbelievable signing. He's been there for some really, really big moments. Don't get me wrong, he winds me up a bit because I think he holds on to the ball for too long for some spells in play, and he sort of holds us up in transition and when we're trying to build attacks. But when he gets on the ball in the box, he's so clinical. He's something else. Yeah, like I say, pound for pound, one of the best signings that we've made, probably in the Emirates era. To be honest, I think he's been superb.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's. And there was talk about us getting rid of him and that, but I think, he's another asset to us. He's
Yeah,
like Martinelli, that we can bring on when we need him and he'll do the business.
mm.
you
Mm.
know,
We've
and
got great options down that wing now. Yeah, Eze can play there. Martinelli, and because the good thing, all of their profiles are different. They're all very, very different footballers in terms of the way that they, the role that they play and how they play as well, in terms of their playing style. But all equally as effective in different areas, and it's good to see.
yeah, that was what I was going to quickly ask you as well. Who's got the captain band at the moment now? Odegaard's not on the pitch. Who have they given it to?
Saka, Saka,
Saka. Oh, yeah, Saka.
yeah,
Yeah, it's been.
yeah.
I mean, it's been working. When will they actually figure it out and just go? You know what, Deckers? Here you go, mate. You have it. Is it me or do I just see
That's
this
a
and I
really
go,
good,
why
good
are we not giving
question.
this band to
It's a,
Rice?
it's a really,
What is
really
this all
good
about? What are we doing
question.
here? I understand with it's working or whatever. I'm not, disclosing what they've done, but Declan Rice, his boss is that midfield, by the way, and
Yeah,
he's kind of a leader in himself, isn't he?
yeah. He was again yesterday. He was absolutely superb. He was brilliant, and yeah, to your point, he's captain material. But he's one of those players that even if you don't give him the armband, he's still a leader. He's still a
Yeah, of
captain.
course, yeah. He gives us
But
the whole team
yeah,
talk and that. Yeah,
yeah, I think you're
he'll be
spot on.
captain of England soon. He gotta be. You know,
Maybe when Kane's done, yeah,
yeah,
potentially could be right.
yeah,
How old's Harry Kane now? 34, 35?
something like that. Yeah, it's maybe
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
when Kane's done with internationals, yeah, could go to Rice
All
absolutely.
all the all these Spurs fans, they'll be watching that game on Wednesday. Is it Wednesday we play? Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
they'll be watching it, waiting for Harry Kane to score against us. They'll
yeah.
and you know what? He probably will because he loves scoring against us.
Oh, he
But
loves a goal against us, don't he,
yeah,
Harry
he loves
Kane?
it,
I
doesn't
think
he?
I think in he's a top scorer ever in North London derbies. He's got 14 goals against us, and I think in like 11 games or something like
Well,
that. The record's
boo the in who because he's not there now. So
ridiculous.
like, he's it's in the past. Done that. He's gone. Like you're not getting him back. Anyway, look, listen, we're gonna have to wrap it up there. But look, before we leave, I was gonna get some predictions off you. So let's go for the Bayern Munich game.
1-0 Arsenal.
1-0 Arsenal. Okay.
1-0. Yeah,
1-0
yeah.
Arsenal. Okay, yeah, I would like to see that. Would like to see probably a bit of a higher score. I'm probably going to go maybe like 3-1, something like that.
3-1.
I really
Yeah,
want to
fair
see
enough.
him get
Fair.
put on the ground. Um, and then the Chelsea game,
2-0 Arsenal. 2-0.
2-0 Arsenal. Yeah, we always
Yeah.
do good at the bridge. I would say, yeah, probably the same 2-0. Um, if the way Chelsea are playing, could be a draw, but I
Could
would
be,
like to say
yeah.
2-0,
To be like the game I'm most worried about out of all three of them because Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, aside from the last 4 or 5 years, let's say between 2005 to 2016, 17, like that kind of time, one of the worst grounds to go to. We never ever either got a result there or never played well there because they were just way too physical for us. They were way too clever. But in the last few years, we've always held our own there. So
Yeah.
hopefully that recent form kind of stays and we can get a good result
Yeah.
out of it. But definitely the one I'm most nervous about.
Yeah, and then moving into December, then it's like, you know what? Let's go all out and just start battering teams everywhere. If we can get past
Yeah,
that Chelsea game, beat them, and let's just go on a massive run now,
yeah.
and
Go on a good
just
run,
just
take some confidence.
open the gap even more.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but look, listen, it's great to have you on. Um, just before I leave, do you know who he is now, Thomas Frank? Do you know who he is
Yeah.
now? Yeah, do you know who Eze is now? Yeah. But listen, thank you very much for coming on. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe to One Way Football. You shall see more content like this with Ashley, the gooner of our channel, coming on and having his say. And don't forget to like the video and share it to some more of your friends. And we shall see you very, very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go, hit the music. No, 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 no.
Bye bye.